Hello, New Rochelle, and welcome to another edition of What Matters Most. We are taping at Trinity Elementary School, where everything you do matters. We have a special guest in studio, but first, let's have some good news. Congratulations to our junior varsity cheerleading team on their achievements in nationals. They are now third in the nation in the junior varsity co-ed category. Congratulations to the New Rochelle High School Model Congress on bringing home the top prize as best delegation last month. Keep making us proud. And now for some fun facts. Did you know that Brooklyn Dodgers player Jackie Robinson was the first African American to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame? And did you know that Brazil is the world's largest producer of coffee? And did you know that a newborn kangaroo is the size of a lima bean? Wow, that is little. It's a pleasure to welcome our special guest, Chris Tuck.
Thank you.
Hello, Chris.
How are you?
Welcome home. Welcome
Yes.
back to New Rochelle. You're in a
thank
new
you.
position over at the high school. Do you want to share for our viewers, what that position is, and then perhaps, more importantly, talk about, you're a New Rochellian, so
Yes.
let's get a little bit of that too, okay?
Okay. Well, I tell you, it's an honor and a privilege for you to have created such a position, and the school board to have agreed, and it's just amazing. One amazing fact, I don't think you even know this one, is that I did a half a year of kindergarten right here in this building.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I used to live down the street at Harper House, and we moved midway through the year. So I did the rest of my time at Webster, and then I went on to Albert Leonard Junior High School at the time, and then I went to New Rochelle High School where I graduated in 1990. And I was a student athlete at New Rochelle High School, football, basketball, and there were always a few good men who never gave up on me
Right.
during my time at Albert Leonard and at New Rochelle High School. And misbehavior was a part of my, I can remember here at Trinity, back in the day, the teacher, to get everyone's attention, she'd turn the lights off and everybody would look. And I liked the fact that everybody would look. So I can remember being so little, as tall as I am now, that I could remember looking up and I hit those light switches, made the whole class quiet. So it kind of started right here in this building. And I went on, but thank God Dad was there to
Right.
not play any games. And thank God for the coaches and the counselors and the people at the high school and at Albert Leonard that never gave up.
Right.
And I want to be one of those people here in
Right.
New Rochelle.
So the position is, right, so you are guidance counselor who works exclusively with our student athletes. What does that mean? Talk to our viewers. What is your day like, and and the things you're doing and the interactions that you're having with our athletes, and what's the goal?
I love the interactions I'm having because for right now, a lot of these guys know me as Coach Tuck, because I've coached football and basketball here in New Rochelle for years. And for the last 23 years, I've been a guidance counselor and a teacher in the Bronx. So for us to bring all that together here is amazing because, I'm still the guy that when I walk down the halls, it's like, oh, there's Coach Tuck. And, their pants come up and they get it together. And what this position really means for me is it's a way to get these guys, men, boys and girls, focused on college, focused on life after high school, which is not always college for everyone. But life after high school, I tell guys, you're going to be a teammate for the rest of your life. Whether you're a teammate on a sports team or whether you're a teammate at home, you're a teammate at your job,
Right.
you're a teammate here at school, you've got to get focused on being a team player. And first thing is becoming a partner with your teacher and getting into class. And your transcript kind of has to look a certain way for you to be eligible to play NCAA.
Right, there's some technicalities, right? So talk a
Yes.
little bit about,
Yeah.
there's courses, there's the
Yeah.
thing called the clearinghouse.
Yes.
All that really matters, right?
Yes, that's huge.
Right.
That's something I just personally went through. My son graduated from New Rochelle High School last year and now plays Division I football at Fordham University. And his transcript, I learned as a parent, had to look a certain way. There are certain courses that you have to have taken throughout your high school time. And now I'm doing a lot of transcript review, a lot of looking into every sport, not just football and basketball, but every sport New Rochelle High School has, to make sure that students are on the right track with their transcript so that they have taken NCAA approved courses so that they can pass the NCAA clearinghouse when they're ready to go to college.
Clearinghouse, and that also makes them eligible for athletic scholarships, right?
Yes,
Yes.
huge.
Big.
GPA has to be as high as you can possibly make it. So
Right.
working hard in the classroom, working hard after school, not just at practice, but with your homework and studying. And I'm putting in some study skill workshops that I'm going to be doing with some of those different teams. Financial awareness is huge. So there's a lot that goes
Yeah.
into this position.
And you told me something really, really interesting recently as you were looking at transcripts and as you were starting to get a sense of our student athletes and, seeing, which ones needed a little more support and help. You found something interesting that one of our students, who had an individual education plan, a student with disabilities, wasn't getting all the supports that he needed. And so, that was a big revelation that you were able to talk with not only his counselor but his teachers, right? To get that. So it's another added layer of support that you're bringing to our student athletes.
I see many student athletes with an IEP, an individual educational plan, that sometimes coaches, especially if you're a coach that comes in after school to coach, if you're not a teacher in the building,
Right.
you don't realize that a child has an IEP. And for me, coaching on the field, there were so many times I could look into a player's eyes and understand that he didn't understand. That yes, coach was the answer he thought he should give. And, I was just there after school, so I couldn't really get into the stuff that I can get into now. So I really want to take that IEP and go over it and make sure that not only teachers, they know, but coaches need to know how that student athlete learns so that you can teach, coach that way on the field, on the court, and you could get so much more out of a student athlete on the field, but more importantly, that self-esteem is going to go up. They're going to get everything that's going on at practice. That's going to inspire them to maybe do a little bit more homework. That's going to inspire them to go to class because practice is working out, and that total student comes together and might just go to college and play sports.
So you're a go-between, working with our students, with your colleagues in the counseling department,
Right.
With the high school administration,
Right.
with teachers in the classroom and other supports, as well as on the field with coaches.
Yes,
So
and parents are a huge part of this.
and the parent part, yeah.
Parents are a huge part of
Talk a
this.
little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I am big on a partnership with parents to where, in my years in the Bronx, at times, I would hear parents say, oh, my kid's in high school now. I'm free. Like, no, not at all. You've got to dive in now more than ever. You, as a parent, have to communicate with your child's teachers, with your child's counselors, and let us know your goals at home so that we could help that, come into play here in school. So that partnership with the parents is huge, huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah. As you see this position, and where do you see things in a year? I know, for me, when I really came to New Rochelle and I learned, I understood that the pride and the traditions of athletics in New Rochelle was really powerful and really special. And one of the things that I have really wanted to do is to take our athletic programs from where they are today, and to continue to push, right? To continue and improve, to go from what I'd say would be good, back to great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk about your piece of that. Right?
Well, we've been great for so long, and we still are known. Just to give another personal example, some football coaches that I spoke to last year when they were recruiting my son talked about the New Rochelle football program as one of the best in New York State, which, I heard someone say top 3 in the state, which was huge for us to hear that as coaches. But now there have been some times where the transcripts aren't matching up. You could have great film, but nowadays college coaches want to see great transcripts first. That was an awakening for me as a parent, that they wanted to talk about career goals and internships and alumni programs, and these were sports coaches at colleges. So they want to talk about academics. And I'm trying to impress that upon our student athletes, that it's great to be great on the field, but you've got to be great in the classroom. Right. And there are so many things at New Rochelle High School that are in place. There are tutors there. There are teachers willing to stay late. There are seniors who have tutoring programs. So there's so much support that I want to really expose parents and student athletes to the support that New Rochelle High School already has. And that's where I come in. I come in as a team player. I come in to try to fit in and bridge that gap between student athlete and academics.
Yeah, and another important, role model, another important adult role model, mentor who can, as you said, when our student athletes see you, right? The standing up, the pride, the respect, and I think reminding them that they're leaders in the school community.
Yes, yeah.
And that leadership is really important, isn't it?
And that's a daily thing. I try to lead by example on a daily basis in everything I say and do. You're kind of always on camera, so to speak, when you're working with little people.
Right.
And when I say little people, our K-12 population, as old as I am getting, they're little people, but our young adults that are always watching the reactions and the interactions that we have with each other, and the way that we conduct ourselves, not only in the classroom in front of them, but in the hallways, coaches, everything, the total picture is always on display.
Right.
So that's something that I'm always trying to be mindful of and to give that good example.
Yeah, kids are always watching, and they're always watching our athletes. I was at a girls' varsity basketball game just last week, and there were young girls, elementary school girls. They were there. They were watching. I could see in their eyes, they can't wait to put on the purple and white, right?
Yeah.
So
that's
the pride.
Sportsmanship. Yes.
That's the pride that exists here in New Rochelle, and I know, being a homegrown kid, the pride in being back home now.
Oh yeah, this is huge.
Is really special for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Definitely
Well,
is.
it's been great to have you on the show, Chris. And
Thank you.
I want to give you the final word, to all those families, everybody out there, who's thinking about New Rochelle High School, should I send my kid to New Rochelle High School? Let's have the final word.
I'll tell you, I went through that over this past summer as I coached a young basketball team, and parents, what should I do? They've heard some negative press, but New Rochelle is excellence in education, excellence in athletics, and that is coming together now in a huge way. And I just would want parents to trust us, give us a try. Instead of going out, I'll put it plain and simple, instead of going out to these different private schools, give us a chance. You will be pleased at what goes on here in New Rochelle.
Yeah. Well, it's special. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you jumped on this opportunity, and I know great things are happening. And like our friend Nate Adams says, the best is yet to come.
Yes,
right?
sir.
All right, Chris.
Thank you, sir. God
Great to
bless
have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
So there we go, New Rochelle. Another great edition of What Matters Most. Stay tuned for our next episode. And until then, have a great rest of your day and your week. Thanks, New Rochelle.